Hey guys, what's up? We're going to talk about two things here. Well, not two things. I just want to talk about the interest I'm really getting with WWE and TNA this summer. Looks like we're going to get some good stuff coming from both companies, and I'm excited as a wrestling fan to see what both companies have to offer. First, I'm going to start with WWE. Last night's Raw I thought was the best Raw since the Raw after WrestleMania. Entire 3 hours I thought was just solid, had solid wrestling matches. You had the return of Christian. Christian came back, which is great. Mark Henry was the highlight for me at last night's Raw. He came back with such a heartwarming, heartfelt, believable, something that's very lost in today's world of wrestling. Farewell, retirement speech, sort of say. He was literally like in tears. He gave the whole crocodile tears. I mean, gave a really believing speech, and everybody was just, the crowd was into it. They were chanting one more match. He was giving props to John Cena, saying John Cena was going to be one of the greatest champions of all time, and he's successful and all of this. I mean, just really a really good, the most believable thing I've seen in wrestling in a long time. In my opinion, I probably say, well, Mark Henry's retirement speech was the most believable thing I've seen since CM Punk's pipe bomb promo 2 years ago in 2011. You guys let me know what you think about that, because I truly believe that. I think Mark Henry's speech was the most believable thing since Punk's first pipe bomb promo. After he gives the speech, John Cena, lifts Mark Henry's hands up, and panders to the crowd, and he reaches out to give Mark Henry a hug, and Mark Henry just scoops up John Cena and then just drops him with the world's strongest slam. And he's like, you thought I was done? I still got plenty left in the tank. And the crowd was great, because the crowd, instead of booing Mark Henry, they actually cheered him, because he was just so believable. And for him to do that, it was like, because I was saying in the back of my mind, I'm like, is he going to drop John Cena? Is he going to drop John Cena? But I'm like, it can't be, no, because he's talking about his kids and his wife. I'm like, I think Mark Henry's actually done. And then for him to do what he did to John Cena, it's just like, man, I marked out. I want Mark Henry as WWE champion. I know I said I wanted Daniel Bryan, but it looks like they may do things differently with Daniel Bryan for right now, because Mark Henry is going into Money in the Bank to face John Cena. But hell, that's the only belt Mark Henry hasn't won. I like him to get it, so I'm really interested in that. And then on top of that, closing out Raw last night, you've got CM Punk fought, what's his name? Alberto Del Rio. He wanted to do an count out because Del Rio just ran away. Brock Lesnar comes out, which was a huge shocker. Didn't expect that. Brock Lesnar comes out and F5s CM Punk. And it had been rumored since last year, since they had put Paul Heyman with Punk, that they had thought about doing a Punk and Brock Lesnar feud, but they kind of scratched that idea at first, because they were like, Punk is kind of tiny compared to Brock Lesnar, so they're like, it'll come across as being unbelievable. So they scratched it. Then they started to resurface the rumors again, and after last night's Raw, it looks like we're actually going to get a CM Punk Brock Lesnar feud. This can go so many different ways. I wonder, are they going to do this at Money in the Bank? I think it'd be kind of a waste. I really would love them to save this for SummerSlam, because SummerSlam is one of the big four pay-per-views that I think WWE has been lacking in producing like big star matches on for the last couple of years, at least the last 5 years. So kind of weird that they would kind of put this kind of early in the early going. I don't know, but it's definitely interesting to see, especially people have been saying that Paul Heyman may turn on Punk, and last night when Punk told Heyman, don't come to the ring at all in my match. So you got to wonder, did Paul Heyman set up CM Punk with Brock Lesnar? So a lot of different things they can do with that. So that's very interesting. So, and even Money in the Bank itself, Money in the Bank, a lot of people have disagreed with me with this, but I said it and I still stand firm in this. I think Money in the Bank is the new Big Four pay-per-view replacing Survivor Series, because WWE puts more emphasis, they market better, they put better quality matches. they build Money in the Bank much better than they've done with Survivor Series. And Survivor Series, in my opinion, has fallen off since 2007. I mean, I still stand firm. I still stand firm behind that belief. I feel like Money in the Bank is treated more like a big quality pay-per-view than Survivor Series. But nonetheless, all these things happened on Raw last night. The heel turn of Del Rio and the possible babyface turn Pop's going to get from Dolph Ziggler. The rise of Daniel Bryan, the second rise, or the second coming of Daniel Bryan. WWE is looking really hot right now for the summer. Definitely. The return of Rob Van Dam for Money in the Bank. So definitely looking forward to a lot of things there. Then you look on TNA side. TNA normally picks up in the summer. Sometimes when WWE drops in the summer, TNA kind of picks up there. But I think this is no different. You've got the Bound for Glory series, which is very interesting. They've limited it down from 24 wrestlers to 12. So that's good that they've limited it down to a nice, small, even number of 12 wrestlers to compete in the tournament. So the Bound for Glory series enough in itself. That's going to sell, and that's going to keep the intrigue all summer long. As we get to TNA's biggest pay-per-view, Bound for Glory, in October. You have Sting, who made the announcement last week on Impact that he wants to make a new Main Event Mafia. Now with this, I kind of have my concerns and my worries about it. I think this would be a great way to bring in some fresh new faces. The only veteran I could see them putting again is maybe Kurt Angle, since Kurt Angle was in the original Main Event Mafia. But I hope they use this to bring in some new stars, because I think TNA really need to bring in some new stars. I've been on the bandwagon of WWE of bringing some new stars in, and they've done that over the last 2 years. Now I'm on TNA's bandwagon, and I'm grinding them to say, bring up some new stars, push some new stars on your roster. So hopefully the new Main Event Mafia will have some young talent, maybe one recognizable star, but only have Sting as the only veteran in that group. From the statement that Sting made last week on Impact, when he said that no one came out and helped him at Slammiversary, so he's going to make a new Main Event Mafia. That gave me my interpretation that maybe he's not going to have anybody on the current roster that we know of. Possibly, if they do have somebody in the Main Event Mafia on the current roster, the one person I would like them to add would be Magnus. I think Magnus is a diamond in the rough, a star with some potential that I would like to see in that new Main Event Mafia, if they were going to add anybody from the current roster. But from the statement that Sting made, I don't think it's going to be anyone from the current roster, because he basically put the whole roster on blast and say, none of you guys helped me against Bully Ray and Aces and Eights. So I'm going to make a new Main Event Mafia with new guys. So that there is also interesting. That has my interest, as well as what TNA are doing with AJ Styles. I'm loving what they're doing with AJ Styles. It's like, sure, it's a knockoff of Sting's Crow gimmick from NWO, but everything in wrestling has been done. Everything is always recycled, and this part of them recycling an old storyline, even though Aces and Eights suck, this part of it where you have AJ kind of being that loner, that face of the company, that savior of the company, that outcast / savior of the company, like Sting was for WCW. It's intriguing, I will admit, and it definitely has my interest. I'm really loving AJ Styles right now and what they're doing with him, this darker character that they're doing with AJ. So this summer is looking really looks like it's going to be really great. Coming from both WWE and TNA, the Bound for Glory series, the Main Event Mafia, the new Main Event Mafia, what they're doing with AJ Styles, and treating that with TNA, and then WWE, everything that happened on Raw last night, the build to Money in the Bank, the return of Rob Van Dam at Money in the Bank at Philadelphia, which is the home of ECW, the original ECW. It's looking really great, and I'm excited to see what both companies have to offer this summer. I think this is probably going to be one of the best summers from both companies in a while. I think this has the potential to be one of the best summers. You guys let me know what you thought of Raw last night, the build and the intrigue of both TNA and WWE this summer. Are you interested in and looking forward to what both companies have to offer, or maybe one or the other? I want your thoughts in the box below. Subscribe. Peace.